Morning, everyone. Thanks for coming. It's a beautiful day, thankfully. My name is Sarah Bates. I fish out of San Francisco here, and I am a board member of our local San Francisco Crab Boat Owners Association. And we're all here today because the 2024 salmon season is completely closed, again, to commercial and recreational ocean harvest.
The state of California in last year, April of last year, 2023, made a request and declared the salmon fishing industry a disaster and applied for funding from the federal government to be able to cover that disaster relief.
I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just making it up here. All I know is I gotta get this tire off with the new one on. Hey, we might not need that. Might just be able to rip it off.
With the closure of salmon, it's extremely difficult to make a living, as best I can put it. It was like I just lost my job. It was very depressing for a few weeks there, but can't cry about it too long. You gotta get up and get after it, figure something else out. But yeah, it definitely is rechanging the way my business model is if I want to keep being a fisherman on the water here. Because it's not easy. It never has been easy, but it's making it very difficult right now, very difficult. Salmon was a major portion of my income for the salary of not salary, but what I made in a year. The future is not looking good for people like myself as a commercial fisherman that chases salmon. Do I think it's gonna come back? Yes, absolutely. I know it's gonna come back and it's gonna be great, but is it gonna close again instead of 10 or 12 years? Do I think it's going to close maybe shorter? I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. I hope it never closes again.
You got it? Yeah.
We would pay a substantially higher price for fish directly from the bay here, primarily because of the scarcity of the fish itself. For better or worse, we buy our salmon now from an aquaculture operation, a salmon farm. This specific one is called Creative out of British Columbia in Canada. All those people who have fishing vessels and are going, what am I going to do? There are guys who've been fishing for 3 generations, 4 generations out there. What are they going to do? It's terrible. Of course I would buy their fish. In a minute.
The Sacramento River, once full of salmon, now impacted by climate change. With warming waters and years of drought, the land too has changed with the addition of dams and the loss of valley floodplains.
But the Golden State Salmon Association also blames federal and state officials for diverting too much water from the river for agricultural use.
It's the same technology that people put into their pets when they say, they put a chip in a pet. Basically, we're chipping all of these fish. When we put tags in fish in different parts of the watershed, we can investigate which of those fish survives. So for instance, just now, we're scanning some fish and detecting tags in those fish. We can go back and see when that fish was tagged, how big it was, where it was tagged, and we can investigate which fish are surviving, which fish are growing better, and that tells us the strategies that fish are using to survive. And if we're not finding fish, if we think they haven't survived, we can also investigate why are fish in some parts not surviving well. In California, salmon were listed by the federal government as first they were threatened and then listed as endangered, meaning that there's a significant risk of total extinction. And somebody stay here with me and we'll just start collecting the rest of the fish.
Okay. I'll go downstream. Yep.
All right, the keys are in the truck.
Yeah.
And then we do habitat restoration to provide the things that they need to survive better. And ultimately, the goal is to ensure that we have a coho salmon population in the Bay Area for generations to come.